Hello, hello. I just came in for a quick moment. I had something that came on my mind that we talked about a little bit last night. Is that are you in a relationship that, and I'm not talking about a relationship like it has to be like a boyfriend, girlfriend. I'm talking about any relationship. It could be a relationship with one of your kids, it could be a relationship with a family member, a friend, whatever kind of relationship, but a relationship where someone keeps coming and talking or speaking to you about the same exact thing that they going through in another situation, but they talk about it over and over and over again. And in that situation, you realize that said person is doing the same exact thing over and over again. And at first you start out talking to them very calm and like trying to give them all of the suggestions or the way that you would work a situation out. But yet and still they still coming back to you talking to you about this same exact situation and ain't nothing changed. Well, I learned after a while that after you having these conversations with people and they're still doing it in the same exact way. One of the ways to get them to see that they doing the same thing over and over again is as the person who they come into and venting to about it, is you start to share with them every story that they've came back and told you about this same situation over and over again. And I know some people say, I hate when people say I told you so or this, that, and the other. But if they come into you, obviously you have something that they need, and haven't given them the right answer if they still coming back saying the same thing and they ain't tried anything different. So at this point, I believe in every story that you done came and shared with me at this point, and you still in this same place. Now I have to give you back your stories to make you realize, okay, you done said this thing to me, but you still moving in this same way. So there's nothing that I can do, especially when I done given you everything that I know how to give you to get through said situation, but you still stuck here in this place and not trying to do anything different. Well, we all know as a people, when somebody coming to you and they saying the same thing over and over again, it can get pretty frustrating after a while, and it's like boring hearing the same story over and over and over and over again, and you ain't doing anything to change it. So, do we got any scenarios or anything like we can go through? All of us know we have a scenario. We got somebody who around us, but are you afraid to tell them, "Hey, Angela, how you doing tonight? Good to see you." Um, are you afraid to repeat the stories that they told to you? I mean, whether it's a foolish game of you keep doing the same thing over and over again with your boyfriend. Let's take like an example. Like if you let your boyfriend hold your car, and I'm a strong believer that if you as a woman have a car and you dating a man that don't have a car, um that might represent a problem in his own. So, to each his own. That's up to you. But if you're letting him hold your car and an incident happens every time you let him hold your car, and you keep handing your car key and then you going to your friend and talking about what happened to your car every time you let him hold the car. Well, if you ain't willing to do nothing different about letting him hold your car, then what's the point in you keep on coming to tell me about what he did with your car every time he get it? So if you like it, then I love it. Um, if you the kind of friend to be able to sit there and continuously listen to it over and over again, but you still getting frustrated, the key to it is, I believe, is that you have to feed them back the stories that they can. Well, you came and told me this time, and you came and told me that this time, and you came and told me this time, and it all sounds like the same thing. So the problem ain't really homeboy. At that point, it's time to tell your friend, no, you are the problem. You can't keep complaining about this person over here. It's just like this too. If you got a friend that continuously borrows money from you, but they never pay your money back, and you still going to somebody else and you talking about said money that you letting that friend borrow, and then they write back again and they borrow more money from you. At this point, I don't want to hear you complaining about somebody borrowing money from you, because you already came and told me 2 or 3 times that this person borrowed money from you and they didn't pay you back the first time. So why you going back to get burnt there again in the same fire? I don't understand it. And another thing too, if the friend keep coming to you borrowing money from you, what are they doing with their money? Especially if they going to they ordering DoorDash, they shopping at the malls more than you do, but they still coming to borrow money from you. Why are you letting them borrow money if they having a heyday with what they have over there? So my question is, how many times are you going to do the same thing before you start to change it? Before you do something different? You at that point, you can't fault anybody else for being in the position that you in, and you keep participating in the same exact thing. I call it, there comes a time when it's time to get off the merry-go-round. You can stay on there and get dizzy if you want to, but I don't like merry-go-rounds. I kind of like to be the one on the ground that'll push the merry-go-round, make it spin around in circles. But I don't want to be on the merry-go-round riding with you. I've been on the merry-go-round and I've rode a couple of rides, and then I'll get frustrated in a heartbeat and be like, no, I can't do this with you. I can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. So at some point, you have to decide, am I going to continue to do this same thing with this same person, or am I going to try and do something different? It's all up to you. I can't stay on the merry-go-round. After a while, I get frustrated, and I so be like, you know what? I don't even want to hear about that no more. You can't talk to me about that anymore. And furthermore, I've given you everything that I can give you on this subject. I don't have any more information to give to you. And especially if I haven't seen you using the information that I've already given to you. There's nothing else for you. No information, no funds, no nothing. We can't even talk about that anymore. So even with your friends, you have to switch it up every now and then, especially if you want to see them grow and do something different with their life. Can't keep giving them the same advice over and over again. You already done gave it to them. And sometimes you give them advice and you can take that one little piece of advice and you can apply it to 500 things in your life. And some people just don't want to. They just want to keep telling the story to you over and over again. They don't want to change much of anything. I just want to be able to come over here and aggravate you with this little piece of information that I keep telling you. But we all know, when we keep seeing somebody that we love go through the same thing over and over again, that is the most frustrating thing ever. So if you one of those people who you going through the same thing over and over again with the same person over and over and over again, maybe it ain't the person that you need to be looking at. It might be yourself. Get off the merry-go-round with them. So that's all I came on here to say a little bit about tonight. And then that's it. I don't know who else that is for. It's time for you to get off the merry-go-round. You're going to be dizzy. All right, y'all. I didn't come to stay on long. I just wanted to come in and put my 2 cents on what I was thinking about today. I had a good old discussion with some good folks last night that I ran into. You know, sometimes your cup is full, and sometimes you need to run into somebody who you can take a little bit off of the top of your cup. Some people are lazy about following through with them. Absolutely. And those are the people what I'm talking about, Elizabeth, that all they want to do is they just want to keep on coming and tell you the story. So like you feel sorry for them or something. And it's time out for all of that. I mean, there's a season when you start off low with somebody. And I think as you go through seasons to me kind of like represent grades. And when I say grades, like grade levels, like kindergarten, first grade, second grade. I know when you start out something, you ain't no pro at it. You know, you start doing it, and then as you go up, if you going through something in kindergarten, by the time you get to third grade, I don't expect you to be going through that same thing in the same way that you was going through it in kindergarten. You need to be done did something different. And that right there is what I can't stand, to see people stay stuck in the same place over and over again, but they want to keep telling you about the story over and over again. No, not me. I have to be the one to say, well, let me tell you something. You told me about this 3 weeks ago. You told me the same exact way you did it. It may not sound the same way to you, but you did it the same exact way that you've been doing it. And until you change something about that, don't tell me nothing else about it. I'll cut somebody off in a conversation real quick that's calling me, telling me the same thing over and over again. I don't want to hear about it, especially if I can't see you doing none of the work. I can't do nothing about it, just you telling me about it. You have to switch up what you are doing. Same thing with the person that's receiving the information from the person who giving it to you. If you don't switch up how you're receiving the information from said person, you're going to continue to get the same thing that you've been getting. And that's more aggravated. So I don't know who this is for tonight, but time to get off the merry-go-round. It make you dizzy after a while. It's fun for a little bit, but it'll make you dizzy. So that's what I came to say tonight. Over here, we are the high class gardeners, where that just means that we grow food. We don't play with worms and bugs and all of that good stuff. We got somebody else that take care of that stuff, and we don't spray that funny stuff on our fruits and vegetables. But and then pretty soon I'm gonna have to get back into the garden to show y'all what I got going on there in the garden, because it's been a long time, especially with us being the high class gardeners over here. So you know, get off the merry-go-round. You don't have to be on there. You don't have to be dizzy. Give people the truth and move right along and watch them grow as you move them along. All right, you all. Good night. Thank you all for coming through and showing support. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.